Okay, so, hi,
Hello,
I'm Jenny,
and I am Josh.
and, we decided, because we're bored and we have no lives, and we're under the mistaken impression that people out there care about our opinions.
Which they obviously do.
They obviously do.
Yeah.
We decided that we were gonna watch all of the movies for 2018 and podcast about them. Is podcast a verb?
Podcast?
Podcast.
Is that right?
We're very new to podcasting.
We're gonna see every movie in 2018. We got a movie pass card this year, and so that has allowed us to see a bunch of great movies this year. And we want to see every movie in 2018 that comes out theatrically for a wide release and talk about it, write about it, express our feelings.
Yeah, it's going to have to be kind of within reason. We don't live in an area that gets a lot of limited release stuff. And, you know, we have real jobs, so it's not really worth it for us to drive 2 hours to a movie theater that might have them. So it's possible, like, we might still talk about those. Maybe we'll catch them when they hit iTunes or something.
Yeah.
But generally, it's just going to be theatrical releases and maybe the occasional limited release that our tiny theater gets.
But yeah, we're going to see every movie in 2018, and we are going to talk about it on the podcast. And this episode is actually about the trailers for the upcoming movies in 2018.
Just in January, though.
Oh, yes. In January.
These are just the January movies. Basically, we're going to watch them. We're going to pause the recording. We're going to watch each trailer, and we're going to talk about it. And we're probably going to cut this way the hell down. All right.
And we want you to actually watch the trailer with us. So we're going to have a playlist of all the trailers in the description of this podcast.
Can we do that?
Yeah, you can make your own playlists.
All right, cool. All right, fine.
What's the first trailer that we're going to be watching, Jenny?
I don't know. Let me see. Okay. So the first trailer we're going to watch is for Molly's Game. Okay, Josh, what were your thoughts? wait, okay, let's describe first what we think the movie is about.
Okay, so the Molly's Game is about Jessica Chastain, who is running her own high stakes casino and is feeling empowered, I guess.
Yeah.
And Idris Elba is her lawyer, and he's helping her while she's being indicted for running an illegal casino.
Yeah.
And Kevin Costner is in it for a minute.
And
I
Michael
guess.
Cera.
And Michael Cera is playing himself because that's all Michael Cera knows how to play.
Aww.
And yeah, that's Molly's Game. There's not much to talk about plot wise for the trailer.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that the trailer that like it showed too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like I already know the basic plot of the movie. I could be wrong. Obviously, we're gonna go see it and find out.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the obvious plot is that she feels powerless, and running a casino makes her feel powerful, and that's the plot of the movie.
I don't think that's the plot of the movie because like
guess.
her whole she was talking about like protecting like other people's stories, like and so I'm wondering if it's going to be like an unreliable narrator kind of thing. You know, like if we're gonna like find like watch stuff in the movie and then find out that the stuff she's telling us didn't really happen or it happened a different way.
Oh, you think?
Maybe.
Well, that would be interesting, but I do not have confidence that movie will go that route.
Well, it is a January movie.
Yeah.
So, but it's not like no good movie ever came out in January, right?
Can you name a movie
that
was good that came out in January?
I don't know. I don't know like release dates off the top of my head for past movies.
That's a good research topic. I'm gonna look further into that. See what movies came out in January in the last few years, and see if there were any
decent
diamonds in the ruts.
Oh, okay.
Is
in the rough.
Diamond
in the rough. Yeah.
In the rust, not in the rust. Whatever.
Like there's a pile of rusty ash, and there's a there's a diamond in there.
Where did this diamond come from? Okay. Well, that was Molly's Game.
That was Molly's Game. Okay, so the next one.
The next one is Insidious: The Last Key.
Okay, so Insidious: The Last Key, which if I'm not mistaken is the 4th Insidious movie. I've seen the first two. I've never seen the third one, and I guess I'm probably gonna have to watch it before we go see this. Seems to be about, if you watched the first two Insidious movies, she might be in the third one, the psychic lady that helps them. It looks like it's about her and like her family house being haunted, and it just looks like a really standard like haunted house ghost thing, except the ghost has keys for hands.
What the hell is with that?
I don't know.
It inserts the key into your throat, twists, and suddenly you're mute.
Yeah, because that's how voices work. There's like a little lock in there. You just turn it, and I mean, to be fair, I think if someone jammed rusty metal into my voice box and twisted, I'd probably be mute too.
you probably wouldn't be speaking very much.
So,
no.
I don't.
I mean, it just looked
standard,
really cruddy.
Yeah.
I don't have high hopes for it. I was digging the score though for the trailer music.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like really good trap music, you know. That's what the kids are listening to, right? Trap music?
Probably, I don't know.
Insidious: The Last Key looks like it's not going to be good, but maybe it will be. The company that made Get Out is also behind this movie, so maybe it'll surprise us.
I know, no matter whether it's good or not, I know that I'm still going to be scared because I'm a big scaredy cat when we go see horror movies in the actual theater. So I'm still going to be scared. So it's going to be fine, I guess, for me. And I have really low expectations for horror movies because like I like horror movies even though they terrify me. And I don't know, like you don't have to do a whole lot for me to enjoy a horror movie, I guess.
Same. Like so Jennie and I love horror movies. They're like one of the movies that bring us together as a couple.
Gross.
And so I'm always excited to see a new good horror movie that may be good. I don't think Insidious: The Last Key
I don't think it's going to be good. No. All right. So let's see what the next movie is. It is The Post.
Well, that was The Post. With Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks. In it, Meryl Streep plays the owner, I guess, of the Washington Post in Nixon-era United States. And she's publishing government secrets. And that's all that I really got from it. And their struggle against the United States as they struggle to keep publishing those stories, and the United States wants them to stop.
I feel like this is going to be a really relevant movie. I don't know like the quality of the movie, but I feel like it's going to be a relevant movie.
Yeah, I hope so. But again, it's a January movie, and it's a Steven Spielberg film. So what is it doing here?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. I don't. But that's two big names that we've seen so far in the trailers, because we forgot to mention Molly's Game is an Aaron Sorkin movie.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So Aaron Sorkin, Steven Spielberg.
Are they trying to buck the trend, or
maybe
are these movies just not worth it?
I mean, 2017's been a pretty crazy year, so I mean, January movies becoming good suddenly wouldn't be the worst thing.
Maybe. Hey, I'm open to it.
It's a good change.
I love Tom Hanks movies where he's doing something awesome, like when he's not playing like an animated character.
Yeah.
Like
David S. Pumpkins.
No, not David S. Pumpkins. God, you made me lose my train of thought.
Sorry.
That bridge movie, the one where they're in Germany in World War II, Bridge of Spies.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
It's really, really good. It flew under the radar in 2015, I think. And it was so good. And if this movie is anything like that, it's going to be really good. And Meryl Streep is always...
Yeah, she's Meryl Streep.
Always awesome, so...
Yeah, I mean, this has, like, good Oscar bait, like, written all over it, because it's, like you said, it's a Steven Spielberg movie, Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep, and it's about, like, a newspaper fighting the U.S. government, and it's a period piece.
Mm-hmm.
That it checks all their boxes.
Except that it's an Oscar bait movie after the Oscars.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
So what's wrong with it?
I don't. Maybe they're trying. I have no idea.
I am really anxious to see it. So far,
I mean, the trailer was decent.
Yeah, the post looks like the one that I'm most anxious to see.
Okay. All right. Well, here, let's see what's next. Gonna have to cut out all this. Ooh, The Commuter.
Oh, The Commuter.
The Commuter's next.
Yay.
All right. Okay. So that was The Commuter. Once again, someone has taken Liam Neeson's family. Because
they're never safe.
They're never safe. Yeah, he's this guy on a train, and Vera Farmiga comes up and is like, "Hey, I'm gonna ask you a bunch of weird questions," and then disappear weirdly, and it's an action movie, and Liam Neeson's family gets taken again, and that's
poor Liam Neeson, man. He has been typecasted harder than anyone of recent memory.
I mean, it works for him, I guess.
Does it?
I don't know. I mean, would he keep doing it if he didn't like doing it?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like
does he do it just to pay the bills? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I feel like Liam Neeson at this point can, I feel like he could probably say no to movies if he wants to, right?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know what his situation is. I mean, I certainly enjoyed the first Taken. I didn't see any of the other ones.
Yeah, me neither. This movie looks like it might be okay. It's from the director of Non-Stop, which I liked anyway.
I don't think I saw that one.
It's the one with the train and Captain Kirk is in it.
Oh, okay.
Denzel is in it.
Yeah. I remember now. I didn't see it, but I remember.
It was pretty good. It was pretty, cookie cutter, but it was good. And if this movie is anything like that, this movie might be pretty good too. I don't know.
I mean, it looks, at the very least, it looks like it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
It weirdly kind of reminds me of, do you remember that movie, The Gift, with Cameron Diaz that came out?
Yes.
The one that was based off of that Richard Matheson story?
Yes.
Like her scene in the trailer, like talking to Liam Neeson, like to make like a choice or whatever, it reminded me of that feel a little bit. And so I don't know if it's also that kind of thing. I feel like I might be projecting a little bit too much interesting.
You think it might like add a dash of science fiction to it?
Maybe. I mean, how in the world does she know where he's calling from?
That's a good question. Is this going to turn into a source code type movie? Or?
Oh, maybe. I didn't. This is the third time I've seen this trailer, and I had not noticed before. I cannot remember his name right now off the top of my head. Patrick something. The guy who plays Vera Farmiga's wife, Vera Farmiga's husband in The Conjuring, was also in the trailer, and I didn't.
The guy who is in every horror movie ever.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in like every single horror movie.
Oh yeah, he's in Insidious.
Yeah.
He's the guy from Insidious. He was also the guy who played the love interest in Joel Schumacher's Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Too bad about that movie.
Yeah. I mean, he did good in it. I mean,
almost everyone did good except the only person who needed to do good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Proud Mary with Taraji P. Henson. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. That reminded me a lot of John Wick, and I'm wondering if that's what they're going for. Like the one trailer that I saw for John Wick was almost exactly like that. It didn't have any kind of story about who John Wick was or what he was doing. It was just all action.
Which isn't bad.
No, and John Wick was great. And I'm hoping maybe Proud Mary is the same way, just with her.
Yeah. I'm sure. I know that people. Well, I guess I don't know. I haven't seen people talk about it. I'm sure people are excited about this movie because Taraji Henson is in that show Empire that we haven't seen.
That we do need to see.
Yeah. But like I don't actually know if people love her character, if it's like a love to hate her character. I know literally nothing about it other than that she's in it and it's about the record industry or something. That's it. That's all I know. But
isn't Steve Buscemi in that? Or is that something else? Oh, that's the Boardwalk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Yeah. Scratch that.
Terrence Howard is in it.
That's right. Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. Danny Glover was in the trailer too, and I only caught like a second of him.
Yeah. Danny Glover was in it. I guess he's like the cop that's after her, probably. I don't know. Again, there was like no plot in that trailer at all. So,
which I mean, they might just be trying to sell it on like, hey, look at this cool badass chick, like,
I mean,
murdering people, and I'm cool with that. That's fine.
If it works, my butt is gonna be in that seat.
Well, our butts are gonna be in the seat.
Well,
regardless,
other people's butts are gonna be in the seat.
We have to see this.
Hopefully, it's good. I don't know much about it yet.
Yeah.
So that was Proud Mary. What is the next one?
Paddington 2.
Oh, good.
All right.
Yay, Paddington.
Okay, so that was the trailer for Paddington 2. I've never actually seen the first Paddington. I really liked the Paddington books when I was little. I don't really remember them now, but I liked Paddington. And it looks like Paddington just has a big adventure and gets arrested or something, and Hugh Grant is in it. It looks like a lot of fun, honestly.
I was really looking forward to not liking that trailer, and it has me sold. It looks like a lot of fun. Who doesn't want to see Paddington Bear go to prison?
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like it's a lot of fun. And the first Paddington, I just looked up, has 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. So that's a movie that we're definitely gonna have to watch before going to see that one.
I agree.
Yeah.
That looked fun.
It does.
Should we say something else about it other than it looked fun? I feel like we didn't say enough about the last one either.
I mean, Paddington isn't a movie for us.
Yeah, we're not its core demographic.
Yeah, so there's not going to be much plot.
It does look like there's plenty of plot.
I mean, but it's not going to be serious plot.
Yeah.
And it's not going, much like the last trailer, there wasn't a whole lot shown in this trailer because it's all about the gags and and Paddington Bear's being cute and here's an outlandish situation for him to be in, and it's fun. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I never like it when people like say like, oh, it's not supposed to be good, it's a kids movie. Well, kids, why would you want your kids movies to be bad?
I have no idea.
You know, I don't get that. I mean, even if I don't know, like you said, it's not our demographic. It wasn't made with us in mind, but that doesn't mean it should be a bad movie. There's plenty of movies that were not made with me in mind, you know.
Yeah, I feel like a good children's movie will bring out my inner child. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. So, in a way, I can appreciate the movie that way. I think a good Paddington Bear movie could make me feel that. So, I'm excited to see the first one and the second one.
All right. Let's see what the next one is.
Okay, so for the next one, we are watching Forever My Girl.
Okay, so Forever My Girl seems to be about this guy named Liam who is a famous country singer who goes back to his hometown for the first time after 8 years, finds out that his ex-fiance had his kid, and it's very like, oh, what's my priority? Do I care about family or do I care about, music on the open road? And it kind of feels like to me that this was a Hallmark original movie that somehow made its way into like a wide release bin. Like, I feel like this must have been a mistake.
We've got to fill the time somewhere.
Like,
quick, grab this random movie and let's put it out in every theater in America.
This was honestly the first trailer that we've seen so far that didn't intrigue me somehow.
What's not intriguing about a famous country singer getting in touch with his little girl that he never knew existed?
Yeah. God.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
That trailer was awful.
And even
it makes every single trailer sin imaginable.
And I don't even really think it's the plot that makes it. Okay, yes, it is a very like basic cookie cutter plot, but you can still make good things out of basic cookie cutter plots if you try.
Absolutely.
And that didn't. We're gonna see it, but that didn't look.
No, that looked awful.
Yeah.
And like. Thank you, trailer, for giving me the entire story.
But now we're gonna have
the entire movie.
Now we're gonna have to sit for like 110 minutes and watch it, though.
Oh man!
But maybe it will surprise us.
Oh yes, I'm sure it will.
But yeah, all the other, like, even the other trailers we've watched so far that I haven't been, like, I don't know, pumped about. Although I don't think I think Paddington was the first one that I was actually, like, excited about. But at least the other ones I was like, okay, I could see how this could potentially be good. And this one I'm struggling to find where it could potentially be good.
Is that guy, like, Liam, the guy who plays Liam, is he an actual country music star? Because I don't listen to country music.
Yeah, I'm so tapped out of country music now.
I'm gonna have to look that up before
we sound really Southern. Nobody's gonna believe that we don't listen to country music.
Oh, well. I mean, that's the only station on the radio.
Besides
country
AFR.
Music. Oh yeah, besides American Family Radio, obviously. And Fox News.
I do actually like country music, but I don't really I don't follow a lot of the contemporary country music. I like a lot of like older stuff. So maybe he is an actual country singer. I don't actually know.
Yeah. All of the new country music just sounds like noise, like the same few notes and rhythms stapled together, you know?
No, I don't know.
Anyway, we're not music critics. We're movie critics.
Yeah,
so...
and even that's, you know, kind of iffy, really.
What? I would consider myself a critic.
I guess.
Anyway, we're going to watch this movie. It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Spoiler. But we're going to watch it and we're going to talk about it later. What's the next movie?
The next one is, it's 12 Strong.
12 Strong. All right. Okay, so that was 12 Strong, the declassified true story of the horse soldiers.
We're just going to say 12 Strong.
No, you have to say the entire title. I am sick of these stupid directors and movie companies making these long-ass titles.
Like the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Exactly. Or Justice League, Dawn of Justice. No,
that was Superman versus Batman.
Superman v. Batman, Dawn of Justice.
Wait, we're getting off topic. We're getting off topic.
Okay, yes. What was the name of the movie?
12 Strong.
12 Strong.
The horse soldiers.
That's how forgettable that movie looks. Okay, so these soldiers are going to Afghanistan. It looks like not long after the World Trade Center attacks, and they are hunting Al-Qaeda there, and it's 1,000 Al-Qaeda soldiers versus just those 12 soldiers, which is an interesting premise. And they're like riding horses, I guess, instead of having any tanks or anything like that.
It's a true story, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess it's a true story. I guess that's some homework for later to look at, you know, what actually happened. But no, it looks like it's probably gonna be cookie cutter / bad. I'm hoping maybe it breaks the mold somehow. And the live characters that we're inevitably going to like come back to during the action that always do nothing will actually do something interesting in these movies.
The wife characters?
Yeah, that's what always happens in these war movies. It focuses on the soldiers and the action and the main reason that the movie got made. And then, for some reason, they include a subplot of the wife characters who are just doing nothing. Well, in the scope of the movie, they don't. Like, obviously they do matter, but I need them to be doing something instead of just sitting around, hoping that their husbands are going to come back alive. That's not interesting.
I disagree. I think that could be interesting. My thing about the war genre is that it is really the only genre of movie that I consistently do not enjoy. So we're like, it doesn't matter if this movie's good, I'm not going to like it. War movies for me fall into two categories. There's the Dunkirk, Saving Private Ryan category that's all like, look, these are the horrors of war. These are the horrible things that people do to each other in war, which just makes me angry at humans in general, because it seems like after, existing for the last several millennia that we could have figured out how to resolve our differences without murdering each other and like destroying entire towns. And it just seems like we could have done that by now.
Good point.
Or it falls into like and I can't think of like a specific example, but like the propaganda category of, hey, look how amazing the U.S. military is. Look how badass and cool these guys are and heroic. And then it makes me feel like we as the audience are devaluing the lives of these people in this situation by not, you know, analyzing like, hey, like these are these are the horrible things that people are doing to each other, and instead focusing on like how awesome it is. And that also makes me angry. So I never enjoy war movies. I'm not going to enjoy this.
I actually like war movies a lot. I mean, all of Jenny's points are incredibly valid, but I just like them. I wish that they did more with them, because war movies are they're just interesting in that the conflict is always the same. It's always the good guys versus the bad guys, and the way that each movie mixes that up, it's just interesting to look at. But everything you said is also correct.
Well, and what's so frustrating about it is that, like, that's always how I feel about war movies, but I absolutely think that war movies are necessary. Like, you can't have like an entire like medium of art and not address war. Like, you can't. That's impossible, and you shouldn't try to.
Because war is a constant part of our lives.
Right, especially now.
Yeah.
Because, you know, especially now and especially in America, because, you know, there's nobody really that's much younger than us that remembers a time when the US wasn't at constant war. Like, there's a whole like smattering of kids right now who are about to go into college who
have experienced nothing but war.
Yeah.
Since 9/11. Yeah.
Yeah, who were born, I think, like around 9/11 or after 9/11. So they have no memory of the world before now, and so like it's unrealistic to expect us not to have war movies, obviously. But yeah, I always hate them.
I like them. I hope that this is good. This movie, it's probably not going to be great, because it just doesn't look very interesting, from what I saw visually. But hey, 1,000 Al-Qaeda soldiers versus 12 American soldiers. It's kind of cool.
It's like American 300.
It is like American 300. Thor and Michael Shannon versus a bunch of terrorists.
Yeah, I'm gonna be nitpicky for a second about, and I love Chris Hemsworth, but they couldn't find an American.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. It doesn't actually matter. I'm not offended, but they couldn't find an American. But whatever.
I mean,
honestly,
Aussies fought terrorists in Afghanistan
if
too.
If I was that dude, I don't know anything about the guy that Chris Hemsworth is portraying, or even if he's a specific person, he could be like an amalgamation of people. I don't know. But if I was that specific dude and Chris Hemsworth was playing me, I'd be pretty stoked.
Yeah.
That Chris Hemsworth was playing me. So hey.
Yeah. Chris Hemsworth is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So
and
hopefully
sexy.
And sexy. The less sexy Hemsworth brother.
I disagree.
You are trash. So that was that movie, whatever name it was. The Long Horse movie.
The Long Horse movie. Okay, so the next movie is
12 Strong. That's the name of it.
It's Den of Thieves. Okay, so Den of Thieves stars Gerard Butler, speak of the devil. Stars Gerard Butler, and 50 Cent. And 50 Cent is like in this crime gang, I guess. Mm-hmm. They do bank heists. And they're gonna do a bank heist, 50 Cent and that other guy, like I've seen him in something. The guy with the main one who was talking.
Really familiar.
Yeah.
I can't place him either.
Yeah. Gerard Butler plays like a major crimes unit cop. Looks like he's a loose cannon cop who doesn't play by the rules. That's what I get from that.
I'm part of a gang. Except our gang has badges. And our badges let us kill people indiscriminately.
I guess so. So yeah, I don't know, it looks like what it is.
Yeah.
Like I don't have high or low expectations for it. It just looks like it's going to be what it's going to be.
Movies don't have to be complicated.
Yeah.
Like, this movie is about a bunch of bank robbers who have gotten their fix on banks, and they're like, hey, let's go for the ultimate bank, Fort Knox.
Yeah.
And the cops trying to get them are the bad guys, with Gerard Butler not giving a man
medical attention.
medical attention when he needed it. He's torturing the man. That's fucked
I'm
up.
I'm definitely already on the side of.
I'm on the side of 50 Cent.
I mean, fuck. Who cares about bank heist? Fuck rich people, right?
Eat the rich.
Eat the rich.
Screw it. Episode 1. You're indoctrinated. You're an Antifa soldier now.
Antifa super soldiers. Okay. Well, that's...
Den of Thieves looks like it's probably not going to be great, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it looks all right.
Yeah.
It looks all right. So the next one is Maze Runner: The Death Cure.
Oh, no.
Yep.
I'm excited because I get to talk about the plot of Maze Runner. Yay!
Yay!
Okay, buckle in. So I vividly remember the first Maze Runner movie. I've never read any of the books.
Yeah, I've never read the books either.
So the first movie is about a group of boys who are trapped inside of this gigantic maze, basically, and inside of the maze are monsters, and they're trying to get out, and then a girl shows up, and for some reason that turns out okay, and
they get out, and there's the world is over.
Yeah, the world is over,
and then the movies ends.
Yeah, there's a disease that's been wiping out mankind, and these kids are one of the few that are immune. And then the second Maze Runner, I do not remember at all.
Oh no, I remember it.
Okay, you do? Okay.
I remember that it wasn't super interesting.
Yes.
And I remember that I felt like that if you've ever played The Last of Us, that there were a lot of similarities to the monsters in The Last. Now I don't know like what the monsters were like in the book, or was it hurting it?
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know what the monsters were like in the book. I'm not saying who, drew influences from who. I don't know. But if you ever played, Last of Us, and the monster, the zombies with the fungus heads and that clicked, and remember
the clickers. Yeah,
the clickers. Yeah, and you remember that those were in the second Maze Runner movie? They had clickers.
They had clickers in the second Maze Runner. See, that's like I watched that movie once and then I was done. Like the first movie drew me in and was just okay, but I was willing to put up with the second one. Second one I remember being garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I wrong? Was it not garbage?
I wasn't interested in it. I thought it was like overly long. I thought it was overly long with not a whole lot of substance. Mm-hmm. But again, I don't know. I've never read any of the books, so I don't know how it compares to the books. If the book's better.
Because
I don't know.
It took place in like a few locations, didn't it?
It did.
It was first in the like little internment camp or the / cafeteria school place.
Yeah,
right?
Where they all were.
And then they escaped that, and then they were in the desert, and that wasn't interesting because nothing happened.
And then they went to Gus's town.
Yeah, and then Gus was there, and he helps them out, and then the government comes in and tries to take them.
Yeah, because the girl like betrays them or something. Like she sells them out to the government.
That's right.
But it's because she thinks it's the right thing to do. It's not because she's like evil. But I can't remember what the thing was. But she thinks that she's doing the right thing. And so this, I guess, is just a continuation of that. I'm pretty sure it's the last movie, the last book. I don't actually know.
I think this is the last movie. I think. This is the last movie.
Did it look like Styles and Jojen Reed were gonna kiss to you?
All the time.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like Styles was just begging to kiss someone in all of the Maze Runners
movies.
movies.
Well, that's because, like, remember we talked about when... We're gonna go on, but half this episode is gonna be about the Maze Runner. Like, remember, like, we talked about that when the Maze Runner came out, because, like, we were... Like, the dynamic between all the boys was very, like, flirty and romantic, which makes sense, because they're a bunch of, like, pubescent boys who have been, like, shoved in a dome together, who don't even have any memories of outside.
Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about that. Yeah, they're all amnesiacs at the beginning of Maze Runner.
Mm-hmm. And remember, like, when the girl shows up, like, they're not like, oh, a girl, like, finally a girl. They're like, oh, a girl.
Oh, a girl, huh? Okay.
That's interesting. That's what those look like. Okay, cool. All right.
Back to my gay sex, I
guess.
Yeah,
which is, and that's fine. I just kind of wish they would just be upfront about it. You know? I wish the movie would just admit it. Admit that it's gay. It's fine that it's gay. Just admit it.
There were definitely a lot of overtones about that.
Yeah.
God, what's his name? The Filipino kid. What's his name?
I don't remember now, but I know who you're talking about. Minho?
I don't remember his name.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm pretty sure it's Minho.
Maze Runner.
Yep,
that's him. Okay,
yep.
so
I think he's Korean.
Korean. Okay,
yeah.
So
I could be wrong about that.
Well, played by Ki Hong
Lee. Yeah, Korean. Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Minho, another character in Maze Runner, is really cool. I like Minho a lot.
I remember him being my favorite. He was like my favorite in the first one.
Yeah, because he was so like actiony and he didn't overthink things.
I kind of wanted him to be the main character, honestly. He was like way more interesting than Dylan O'Brien.
But him and Dylan O'Brien were like,
they had so much chemistry.
They were seriously about to kiss on screen. And I was rooting for it.
And then just, I don't know, it's just like, oh, here's like Dylan O'Brien's the main character. Here's a girl. You know they're gonna get together.
Well, they turned out to be brother and sister in the end, though.
No, they didn't.
They didn't? I thought
no, that was what we assumed
Oh.
was gonna happen, because we were like, oh, like surely they're not just like having the same memories like because of love or whatever. Like maybe they're twins and maybe that's why they're like connected. Maybe there's like a Luke and Leia kind of thing.
We did think that. That's right. And it turned out that they were just...
Yeah, I think they're not.
Yeah.
Although I don't actually know, I guess. I don't know anything about the Maze Runner or how it turns out. But whatever. I don't know about the books. Maybe those two belong together in the books. But in the movie, Dylan O'Brien and Minho should kiss. And that's just... Absolutely. That's just what should happen.
And, I mean, I don't know if this Maze Runner, this last one, is going to be any good or not. I hope it is. I hope it's at least as good as the first one, which is only decent.
Yeah.
I just want the trilogy to end on a high note.
We'll have to rewatch the second one so you can be refreshed.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Okay, the next trailer we're going to look at is Hostels. Okay, that was Hostels. And I gotta say, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Christian Bale in a Western is always pretty good to me. He was in 3:10 to Yuma, which was an excellent movie, and looks pretty good.
3:10 to Yuma, which also co-starred Ben Foster, and also entailed Christian Bale escorting an outlaw somewhere. So yeah. So, you know, I mean, do what works, I guess.
It's like Christian Bale belongs in Western movies to me, because he's so good at playing that that character at the end of the line, who has nothing to lose and will do anything to get what he wants.
Well, and 3:10 to Yuma, I think, was very much about the relationship between these two men, and like their, dynamic, whatever you want to call it. But Hostels looks like it's a lot more about like the larger like American frontier struggle and like the people who are affected by it. And also, like I said earlier about, with the 12 Strong Horse movie, with Chris Hemsworth, how like it's a movie about the American frontier, but like both of your big co-stars are not, like neither of them are American. So because Christian Bale obviously, and what's her name, the woman from Gone Girl, whose name I can't remember right now.
I have no idea what her name is.
Yeah. And also I was pretty sure I saw Todd from Breaking Bad for a second.
Yeah, he's in it too.
I'm interested to see what he does, because I'm ready to see him play someone that I don't want to punch in the face. Like, no offense to that actor, but he's just really good at playing people that I want to punch in the face.
I think that's probably why he's in the movie.
Probably.
I think he's probably the main antagonist.
Yeah, probably. I don't know about the main antagonist.
I think so.
I think so?
It'll turn out like, these movies. It's, the soldier versus the Native American, and they're attacking each other, and they're at war, and everyone's a hostile, right? But it turns out Christian Bale's betrayed or something at the end, and he has to team up with the Native Americans to do something else even better.
I don't know. I don't know what I hope. It's always kind of a minefield when you're doing stories like this, because media historically has never really done a great job with, frontier, white pioneer versus Native American struggles. It's never really, I don't know, because back in the day it used to be like, oh yeah, like the cowboys are always the good guys, and then in the 90s it started, well, maybe a little earlier in the 90s, but it started being like, oh, let's focus on these white people who were okay, I guess, and like
these white people didn't murder any Native Americans.
Yeah, and so we've never been good at it, and I don't know. I actually kind of hope that they don't that Christian Bale doesn't end up working with them. Like what I want out of this movie is for no one to be a like good or bad guy. That's what I want from this. And I want everyone to hate each other, and I want no one to be like perfectly good or perfectly bad.
I'm going to make a prediction that was the original intent of the script, that was written, and then it got into a studio head and they changed the ending to exactly what I said.
Well, the thing about this is that, like, unlike a lot of the other movies that we're going to see this month, is that this has already had a release. Like, we're going to get to see the wide release sometime this month. Mm-hmm. So we could already be wrong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
so,
true. We don't know anything about the movie other than what we saw in that trailer.
Yeah. So, because, again, we live not in a place where you get limited release of movies.
I mean, we could go somewhere near enough to us to watch them, but it's really out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, we don't, like, live in the boonies, but
yeah,
it's a small town and a small theater. So.
But I'm excited to see it. This and The Post and
Paddington 2.
Paddington 2 are the three big ones this month for me.
Mm-hmm. What was... Oh, Forever My Girl is my call for worst.
Oh.
For worst movie of the month. That's my call. I'm calling it right now.
I think you're going to be right. Unless Insidious: The Last Key is really horrible.
I don't think so, because like I'm expecting Insidious: The Last Key to be just itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, then at the same time, I'm not really expecting to be disappointed by Forever My Girl, because I'm not expecting it to be anything approaching good. So, okay, so those are all the trailers that we know of. Again, from Movie Insider, they're coming out in January. That doesn't mean necessarily these are the only movies we're gonna watch. We're gonna keep a close eye on our theater, on our local theater. Mm-hmm. See what they're playing. I'm sure there's stuff that Movie Insider doesn't have.
Yeah.
Or that they skipped or something.
I mean, yeah, and if we did miss something, feel free to let us know about it.
Yeah.
We'll set up an email and stick it somewhere that's not set up yet.
Yeah.
But we will do that.
We'll either add that to the description, or we'll edit this later and tell you where to email it.
Yes.
All right.
So that's all of the trailers for January 2018, and I guess we will see you with the review of one of them.
All right. Probably Molly's Game. I think that's the first one that comes out.
Game, yeah.
All right. So, okay. See everybody then.
Bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye.